In the midst of luxury and entitlement, one simple interaction changed everything. In this story, a wealthy traveler thought he could belittle someone he assumed was just another gold digger in first class, but he soon discovered he was facing a woman whose quiet dignity would upend his world. Before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share in the comments. Have you ever been humbled by an unexpected moment? Let's explore this powerful story together. The scene unfolds on a first-class flight from Dallas to Tampa. The cabin exudes luxury. The scent of rich leather mingles with the subtle aroma of fresh coffee and pastries. Overhead, the sound of champagne glasses clinking blends with the soft hum of conversation as passengers settle in, adjusting designer bags and expensive watches. Nathan Kessler, a seasoned businessman with years of boardroom victories behind him, settles into seat 3A, a window seat he adores. Confident and self-assured, he barely looks up from his phone as he drops into his seat. With a scotch in hand and his tie loosened, Nathan projects the image of a man who belongs in this world of luxury. During the flight, as passengers chat and the engines hum steadily, Nathan's attention drifts. Amid the polished crowd, his eyes catch a blonde woman seated a few rows ahead. Her profile is partially visible as she scrolls through her iPad. There's something about her that seems familiar. A subtle elegance amid the everyday glamour of first class. Nathan scoffs to himself, nudging the man next to him. Ever notice how some people think money can buy class? He murmurs loudly enough for nearby passengers to hear. His companion offers a polite, non-committal chuckle as Nathan continues. She looks familiar. Probably one of those reality TV rejects. Big hair, expensive handbag, and zero sense of style. As Nathan's commentary drifts over the cabin, a few passengers glance in his direction, yet the blonde woman remains absorbed in her tablet, seemingly indifferent to his remarks. The flight attendants make their final rounds, and as the plane taxis for takeoff, Nathan's casual criticism persists. He muses aloud, "People like her are supposed to care what men like me think." His tone drips with arrogance as he adds, "Usually, she'd be the type to flash a designer label and expect compliments, but not today." When the seatbelt sign turns off, Nathan leans over, flagging down a flight attendant with an exaggerated wave. "Another scotch, please," he says, tossing a glance at the blonde woman and adding, "And whatever she's having, on me. It's a test, a challenge to elicit a reaction, to make her look amused or even annoyed." But she doesn't. Instead, she continues scrolling with quiet composure. Nathan smirks and whispers to the man beside him, "She must be one of those who get by on her last name, always waiting for a patronizing compliment." His words, intended as a cheap shot, echo through the cabin. As the flight progresses, Nathan's monologue continues unchecked. He observes the reactions around him. An older gentleman glancing up from his newspaper, a young professional furtively checking his phone, and he assumes they all share his disdain. "See?" he boasts softly. "People laugh at me because I'm calling it like I see it." But then something unexpected happens. The blonde woman, whose identity remains unknown to Nathan at this point, slowly turns her head. For the first time, she meets his gaze. There's a moment of silent evaluation. Her eyes, cool and steady, seem to say, without a word, that she isn't impressed. Nathan's confidence wavers. That brief, unreadable smile from her, subtle yet piercing, begins to gnaw at his arrogance. He glances around, suddenly aware of the curious stares from fellow passengers. He adjusts his cufflinks, trying to reassert his composure, but the mood has shifted. A few minutes later, as the flight attendant passes by to collect empty glasses, Nathan hears a soft announcement. "Ms. Bondi, would you like another beverage?" At that moment, realization strikes him like a bolt of lightning. The blonde woman isn't just anyone. She is Pam Bondi, former Attorney General of Florida, known for her unyielding resolve and sharp legal acumen. Nathan's face drains of color as he struggles to process the truth. All the mocking remarks, the casual arrogance, now seem horribly misplaced. The luxurious world he thought he ruled suddenly feels small, insignificant, and entirely different. For the rest of the flight, Nathan is visibly unsettled. His earlier bravado is replaced by a simmering embarrassment. Every time he glances at Pam Bondi, who remains completely composed, absorbed in her tablet. The weight of his misjudgment grows heavier. Passengers begin to whisper among themselves. The older gentleman across the aisle, who had earlier chuckled at Nathan's remarks, now casts a sympathetic glance his way. Even the flight attendant seems to regard him with a mixture of pity and understanding. Nathan tries to muster a comeback in his mind, but his words falter. The silence that has settled over his thoughts is louder than any taunt he could have made. As the plane cruises at 35,000 feet, the cabin noise recedes into a distant hum. Nathan finds himself alone with his thoughts. He remembers the confident tone he had used earlier, the way he had boasted about his insights on class and style. Now, confronted with the quiet dignity of Pam Bondi, he begins to question his own arrogance. He recalls stories of powerful men humbled by unexpected encounters, how sometimes the loudest voices are forced to listen to those who speak with quiet conviction. The realization stings. Here, in this confined space, his assumptions are crumbling. Nathan's fingers, once drumming on his armrest with assured rhythm, now tap nervously as he contemplates the true meaning of respect and authenticity. The flight nears its end, and as the plane begins its descent into Tampa, Nathan watches the landscape unfold beneath him. Vast, unpredictable, and humbling. His mind is still reeling from the encounter. Pam Bondi's silent strength, her unwavering composure, has left an indelible mark on him. For the first time in his life, Nathan realizes that true class isn't about flaunting wealth or throwing out insults. It's about recognizing the humanity in everyone, even someone you might have dismissed as just another stereotype. As the cabin lights brighten with the approaching runway, Nathan feels a shift inside. It isn't too late to learn, to listen, and to change. After landing, as passengers disembark and the first-class cabin empties, Nathan steps into the terminal with a heavy heart and a mind full of regret. Outside, he finds a quiet corner and pulls out his phone. Social media has already exploded with reactions to a snippet of his earlier comments, shared widely with mocking captions and memes. He scrolls through the comments, some critical, some surprisingly reflective, and he sees one message that stands out. True strength lies in humility. That message lingers with him as he boards a taxi, the city lights blurring past. Nathan wonders if this encounter might be a turning point. If perhaps, for the first time, he has the opportunity to shed his arrogance and truly listen. If this story of unexpected humility resonates with you, please hit that like button and share your experiences in the comments below. Have you ever been humbled in a way that changed your perspective? And don't forget to subscribe for more genuine stories of transformation and hope. Over the following days, Nathan's experience in first class becomes a topic of quiet introspection. He recalls the moment Pam Bondi simply looked up from her tablet with that unreadable expression, a silent verdict that left him reeling. Determined to make amends, Nathan begins to reflect on his behavior. He starts reading books on empathy and humility, and he even reaches out to a mentor to discuss the lessons learned from that flight. Slowly, he understands that true power lies not in dismissing others, but in embracing their worth, regardless of your assumptions. Weeks later, Nathan attends a public event where he is invited to speak about leadership and personal growth. His speech is raw, honest, and laced with regret. He tells the audience, "I once believed that wealth and status meant I was above everyone else. But a chance encounter on a flight taught me that true class is found in humility, the willingness to listen, to learn, and to treat every person with respect." His words, delivered with genuine emotion, capture the attention of a diverse audience. For the first time, he speaks not as a man who commands attention, but as one who has learned to earn it through vulnerability and growth. Back in the cafe of life, the memory of that encounter continues to resonate. Pam Bondi's quiet strength becomes a symbol for those who feel dismissed or overlooked. Social media discussions, once full of biting criticism, now spark conversations about empathy and change. People begin to share their own stories of being underestimated and later transformed by unexpected kindness and quiet determination. The dialogue moves beyond mockery. It evolves into a collective call for understanding and respect. Nathan's journey from arrogance to introspection sends a simple yet powerful message. True growth comes from recognizing our own flaws and having the courage to change. His transformation becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter how high we soar, humility is the foundation of lasting strength. His story spreads quietly, touching those who had once felt alone in their struggles. The lesson is clear. It's never too late to learn from our mistakes, to listen more, and to treat every person with the respect they deserve. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment that forced you to reevaluate your assumptions and change your behavior? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else to choose humility over pride. If you found this journey as impactful as we did, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more transformative stories, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, genuine progress comes from recognizing our own shortcomings and growing from them. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and let humility guide your way.